What's up, guys? Oh, it's your boy Tim Zabriskie here, back at it again with the brand new vid. It's a pretty beautiful weekend out there. Did a little hiking today. Apparently, it was all right. We got a great show for you today. We got our boy, the president, Phil Stamper, will be coming onto the air. We'll be discussing the wrestling pay-per-view. LA will be calling in as well. She's going to be calling in about a couple more minutes, and then we'll get Phil on. But before we do any of that, the first thing that I want to talk about today is this awesome WWE 2K18 Dusty Invitational Tag Team Tournament that we will be having at Heroes Hideout in Rensselaer. Make sure you check out Heroes Hideout here on Facebook to find out more information. It's pretty fantastic. It's a $5 entrant. You will bring your own controller. That way there's no discrepancies on, the controller wasn't working or it wasn't charged all the way. You're going to be in charge of all of that stuff. This is going to be happening on November 4th. That's that Saturday, right? Let me double check. Yep, Saturday, November 4th is when that will actually be going down. And then, so it's going to be freaking pretty sweet. So I'll be there. The Tim Zabriskie Show will be live streaming all of this on YouTube itself, right on my page. It's going to be a good time. That place has definitely been hopping. I mean, They're having Eric Bischoff show up the day after, so maybe he'll even show up to the video game tournament. We don't really know. It looks to me like we're going to mix things up here. LA, she needs a little bit of time, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually have Mr. President come on himself. Oh, I guess I never turn off that music. Let me turn that off right now. Hold, give me 1 second, Mr. President. I know you're on standby right now. I really did a bad job today with setting everything up. Oh, come on, baby. What is that? I don't even know what's happening right now. Oh, here he is. I got you. Can you hear me? Why can't I freaking hear you? Oh, and why does it say that? Oh, hold on. Total technical difficulties here. I'm trying to figure out why I can't hear you. I see your mouth is moving. I don't know what's happening. Hold on. Playback devices. I don't know what's going on here, Mr. President. Can you hear yourself clapping? That's the part that I'm wondering. I'm trying to get this going as fast as I can. I think I'm gonna get a 0 for the day on my report card. I can hear it. Wait, talk.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I don't know what. I didn't even do anything, and all of a sudden I can hear you. How you doing?
I am well. How are you?
Good. So all these crazy last-minute weekend changes to the WWE pay-per-view today it makes me feel like it was an indie show. It was just like, Roman isn't calling anybody back. He got his deposit, and now he's not coming to the show now. So that's basically how it made me feel.
Well, hey, they want to take over independent wrestling, so why not book it like that?
Yeah, literally, that's what makes it so hilarious. How are you? What's going on?
I am doing well. I'm kind of right with you when it comes to TLC about what has happened, what's going on, what don't we know. There's a lot of interesting side notes that seem to be happening. Other than that, busy with wrestling and filming and life.
What are you filming? What do we got?
So I'm going to be featured in another episode of I'm going to be featured again on Investigation Discovery on a TV show called Who Killed Jane Doe.
That's awesome. Where do you see that?
On Investigation Discovery.
Oh, okay. I've never actually heard of that channel, so
check your local cable provider.
Oh, okay. Is it number like 7016? Is that?
It'd be like 116. It's what used to be Discovery, and so they just expanded it, and it's like all their crime series on one TV show.
Gotcha.
For one network.
That makes sense. All right, so let's go over this pay-per-view.
The big game, huh?
I don't even know what. Oh my god. I'm failing at life today. I don't even care.
That's okay. And I just realized I'm not actually hearing you through my headset. I'm hearing you through my computer. So I don't know what technical.
What is happening today? So you might as well just take the. Do you even have the headset plugged in?
Now I got it. Yeah.
I don't even know. But what's sweet though is that I figured out, because I have one webcam here and then I have another one that came with the laptop. You're actually seeing me through the laptop one, and then there's a whole different one that's going through the program. So
okay,
it's all technology, yay! We hot tag. All right, let's go through this card. Let's see what we got going on. On this website, the first match that it has is the main event, so we're gonna go all the way to the bottom. So let's go with Sasha Banks versus Alicia Fox in the kickoff show.
It's totally gonna be Sasha Banks. There's no rhyme in my brain that says Alicia gets this. I do love Alicia, what she does. But she beat Sasha on Raw, so this is the comeback for Sasha.
On my live stream with the video game, I had a random request for me to play as Alicia Fox and fight Sasha Banks and Charlotte and somebody else in the Fatal 4-Way. So I don't know. I guess she's got some sort of fan base. I don't know. I've never really been a big fan of her or anything like that. So
right.
So yeah. All right. So I'm gonna go with Sasha too on that. So the next match we have here, Cedric Alexander and Rich Swann versus Jack. I think it's Gallagher. They all say Gallagher. Is that the whole thing? And then Brian Kendrick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is this the affirmative action tag match that we have on the show? Is that?
Ooh.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. It does look like it by looking at the rest of the card. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Cedric Alexander and Rich Swann just for that reason.
The whole card up and down, if you look at it, is pretty diverse in that respect.
Thanks for saving face for me. That's really what I needed.
I'm actually surprised. Well, then again, maybe not after everything that's happened this week, that there are 2 cruiserweight matches on tonight, and because that has not been a success for them, because I don't think they've allowed the 205 group to do what they really can do best and platform them well.
Yeah, I'm very excited to talk about the other one, which apparently, according to this list, we're going to do right now. But who do you have for the winner of that match?
I'm going to say Gallagher and Kendrick, because though I've heard buzz about Gallagher's heel turn, other than that, I didn't even think Brian Kendrick was still on the show. So I'm glad for him.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm going to say them because they need it.
Yeah, they definitely need it. I mean, Brian Kendrick had to, on Total Divas, he had to train Eva Marie, and then she retired, from that long, illustrious 6-month career that she had. I think she only wrestled 1 match, right?
Right. And then had a year-long Mick Foley making fun of me behind the scenes.
Yeah, exactly. So ridiculous. So let's talk about this cruiserweight title match. There's been a lot of talk and speculation and controversy as it regards to what's happening backstage or what's not happening backstage, and it really comes down to Enzo Amore if whether or not they want him around, they don't want him around. It's really hard to figure out like where we're at with him. So Enzo versus Kalisto. Kalisto beat him. I don't know if it was on the last show or if it was on the show before for the Cruiserweight title. And now they're having the big blow-off rematch. Now, is he going to go over or is he going to lose? Your thoughts?
In a way, I keep going back and forth on this. They tried to repackage Kalisto for this comeback. Like, they tried to make it like now debuting on Raw, even though he was a Raw superstar. Like, it was weird. And to put the title on, does create a little bit of buzz. Like, hey, what's happening? Hey, wasn't this supposed to be all about Enzo? So I'm going to say they're going to turn around and end up with Enzo having the title back.
With that being said, though, like, if they're going to give the title back to Enzo, are they going to let him celebrate in the locker room? Because that's the whole thing. They're saying that he's not even allowed in the locker room right now.
Well, and there's kind of two parts about this. I mean, at the end of the day, if the WWE and the locker room really did not want them there, I don't think Enzo would have this opportunity. So I do wonder how much of this is just spin and buzz that the WWE has capitalized on to put Enzo in this spot.
Is your phone going off?
It is. I didn't think you could hear it. 1 second.
I just looked at my phone.
It was to remind me that we had a podcast at 7:15.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We switched it up. We booked you a little early. That way you can watch Sasha and Alicia Fox. So.
Yay.
Awesome. So, okay, so you're going to go with Enzo? That's who you decided on?
Yes, Enzo.
All right, I'm going to go with the Kalisto, and then next week we're going to see a future endeavor. that's what I'm going to go with. All right, so the next match on the card is an obvious one for me. It looks like we have Asuka versus Emma, and I'm going to go with Asuka because they're not going to do anything. They're literally not going to do anything with Emma on this. She's just going to, take that loss. But, when I was in the shower before, I said, how crazy would it be if they spun it and this is the beginning of that whole Emelina payoff that they totally gypped us on.
Right? And you know what? A lot of people have said that the reason they didn't give Sasuke Nakamura the win on his first pay-per-view was because they were going to give Asuka the win tonight. Or it's all just a big cover and Emma does win to give Asuka the first loss. This is
the biggest night in Emelina's career. She's going to be the one woman to take down the Goldberg of the women's division in Asuka. But yeah.
Hey, Ronda Rousey couldn't make it. Maybe Asuka can't either.
Tonight is not her night. Oh, that's great.
I'm totally going Asuka, by the way.
Oh yeah. So, and then speaking of the other women on the show, we do have Alexa Bliss versus Mickie James. Now, I don't know any of the build-up to this feud. Apparently, this has been going on for a while. I don't really know. If you could elaborate and then give us your answer, then I'll base my decision off what you're saying.
So some of it, I'm trying to remember myself because it seems like Mickie was aligned with Alexa at one point and they kind of went their separate ways. And some of it has to do with Mickie saying, what are you talking about, a revolution? I was here 10 years ago and we were the thing. We were the stuff before there was a diva. We had a women's title.
Yeah, like she was doing the whole lesbian thing on WrestleMania, and she got in big trouble for that. That was a girls' fight, yeah.
Well, and that and then she was seeing kind of John Cena on the side when she was engaged to be married to Ken Doane. So hey, there was that too.
Oh yeah. Remember when he kicked me in the face?
So much trouble from people who know me.
Remember that show we did where he kicked me in the face? Do you remember that one?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
All he saw was Mickie in front of him. I'm kidding.
Yeah. It was because that long, luscious locks that I had at the time, and he was just like, you know what? Like, I'm gonna kick this guy in the face because he's cheating on me with John Cena.
Yes. I don't know. In a way, Alexa's held on to that title come hell or high water. you know, if you want to talk about some of the questionable backstage things that have also been happening, like what's going on with Nia Jax.
Yeah, what's the deal? What's the deal? She just, her body can't take it anymore? Is that what I read?
So I don't know. And I feel like I was hearing a lot of a mixed story, and some of this could be part of, and again, I don't put anything past the WWE, and, you know, being in wrestling, you know, you don't believe anything until it happens.
Right.
Like, so part of me is like, is Nia leaving really a thing? Mm-hmm. Is she kind of riding that wave of the other people who were leaving? Like, oh, we can get some, you know, some other press on this. Because they sort of lost the mystique of her being a monster.
Yeah.
They kept saying she was, but she tapped out in every match. That's not even being like on par. That's being less than anything.
Yeah.
So, because you're giving up. So the fact that they would do that, maybe, you know, either I heard that, you know, she's felt upset about that, how she was being looked at. Okay, maybe it's time away, coming back, being refreshed. Now she really is the monster.
See, this is the part that I don't get when it comes to these people and their character and everything. Because for me, it's a work. And for me, it's just that, okay, well, if you don't like the way that they're writing a storyline for you, why don't you go apply at Walmart and see how they treat you over there? And I know that the money wouldn't be the same, but I know that starting off, some of these guys really do make, like, you know, $50,000, $55,000 in that range and stuff like that. So for me, it's like, you know what? Like, if you think that you're so much better, I can't wait to see how they treat you at your 9 to 5 or your 12 to 9 or whatever the hell your shift you're getting and stuff like that. It's like, part of me is just like, you know what? Get over yourself. You're living a dream job that everybody wishes that they could have, whether they've done anything in the business, whether they haven't done anything in the business. And if you don't think that they're treating you properly, it's like tough shit. There's so many different jobs out there that where everyone gets treated like crap, and if they're not writing a good story for you, like oh, you're gonna walk away. Like, for instance, for me, the biggest one lately obviously is Neville or Pac or whatever, and you know, I know they haven't really released him, so you know there's still controversy in that, but it's like. Right. The guy freaking.
Well, I've even heard that was all spin, because he allegedly now he's saying, guys, I wasn't even there that night. Like, I was already planned to not be there. So I don't know where this is coming. Like, he's been putting that out.
Oh,
but
okay.
Hey, ride that wave and maybe it'll turn into something else.
Exactly. And like, my whole thing is that it's like, do you know how many freaking people, myself included, yourself included, that would love the opportunity to be doing that? And I think that these guys just get into their own head, you know? And it's just...
But I also get it. I mean, I understand, you know, it's a competition in a way. I mean, we know what pro wrestling is. We get it.
Exactly.
The same time, at that level, everybody's competing. Even at that level, they're competing for a finite number of spots. And even within that finite number of opportunities, there's even a tinier group that gets to have the privilege of being having an opportunity on TV that gets a good storyline or gets seen in a better way. And then there's that tiny little subset that get to be the co-stars of the weekly television program of either Raw or SmackDown starring the McMahons. And I understand how it gets into people's mindset. Super random. This is going to be a quick tangent, and I promise I'll come back.
No.
A friend of mine who is a professor of Southern literature gave me a call last night and said, hey, I gave some colleagues your phone number because they're actually creating a pro wrestling studies program.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And it's like a group of 3 schools that are going to do this, and they want to talk to me about it. And as I think about it, as we think about like theater and your own psychology and perspective, it's sort of like you have to be your own best marketer in professional wrestling.
Yeah, you have to. That goes with life in general, though. That doesn't just have to go with professional wrestling. Because for me, it's like, you know, for the longest time, I was on a job search, and all these different things, like LinkedIn, like Facebook, like even with this podcast, with, you know, like the Instagram and the YouTube and all of that different stuff. For me, it goes back to the analogy of if a bear shits in the woods and and no one's there to see it, or we could even do the tree falling. Like, if a tree falls in the woods and nobody's there to hear it, did it really happen? If we were doing this podcast right now, but we didn't put it anywhere, we didn't, advertise or anything like that, which is ironic that I'm saying that because I really didn't put a lot into the advertising for today. But at the same time... Bad promoter. Oh, my God, I'm so horrible. But at the same time, it's like, the same thing goes with wrestling and stuff like that. So, and with the other analogy that people say if there's not good press, there's bad press, but it's all, in the end, it's all good press. Like,
right.
Like, the whole thing that's going on with Neville and the whole thing that's going on with Nia or whatever, it's just drawing more attention to them. So now it's like, oh, what's the next thing that they're going to do? Because, with Austin Aries, and this is my own opinion on the situation, we haven't seen or heard of anything from him. I don't know if it's because of the non-compete clause in 90 days, but even on, like, I know that you are more into the indies than I am at this point, but I haven't heard him doing any sort of shows in the Northeast, and I'm pretty high. Like, I really pay attention to the Northeast because I live here. You're a lot southern than I am, so, like, I haven't heard anything from him, so to me it's almost like, is he even around right now?
I've heard of him, like, making, like, appearances, but I mean, like, more in the back. I have not really heard of him, being on an event. I quickly just went to his Twitter just to see, okay, is there anything out there? He's talking about maybe starting a podcast. I mean, I knew he felt pretty beat up.
Another podcast.
Right, exactly. More competition. But then I'm like, I really just don't know. After his release, so apparently his 90-day compete clause ended on October 5th. After his release, Aries debuted a new clean-shaven look and clean-shaven head. I have not seen him, so I don't know where they're talking about that he debuted that look.
Yeah, I don't really know, but apparently that's part of that was one of the rumored reports, though, is that he's making more money on the indies than he was making in WWE per week or something like that. But
I mean, I look at like a Sami Callihan who had a developmental opportunity, was featured on NXT, left that because he's like, hey, this really isn't me. This isn't my style. This isn't my brand. Left and is making a 6-figure salary working in the independents and traveling the world. So
that's amazing. Good for him. Yeah. He's always been an awesome guy, though, too. So
absolutely,
he definitely deserves it. But yeah, so I mean, where do we even go with this? Was this with Nia?
So we went off on Nia for a moment. Somehow I was going to bring it back to Alexa. Oh, because we were talking about the story of like what was happening with Alexis and Mickey and how did they get there? Because it seemed like Alexis went through this cavalcade of like, I'm going to partner with you. No, I'm not. I hate you. I love you. Work with me. Don't work with me.
Yeah.
Screw off. And then it came into Mickey and Alexa having this like, apparently Mickey realized the errors of her ways and that she needed to teach this generation respect because it always has been about being a solid competitor, not this brand new revolution that's been really around since, hey, I was here the first time.
Yeah, I guess. I don't really know how I feel about that argument at all. It's just kind of it's like, oh, well, I've been wrestling for a long time, and you're not in a revolution. Yeah, that's stupid. That's a stupid argument.
Right.
So yeah, Alexa's going over. Is that how you're going with it? She's so hot right now. Shit.
She is, and she's held that title forever. So you know what? I'm going to say Alexis. I was really going to say Mickey at first, but you've convinced me.
Well, why would you want to say Mickey?
Because I've kept feeling like, okay, it's time that there is a change up. Mickey maybe is that person. She speaks for like, hey, I have that experience. I have that experience over you. Hey, I've held that title so many times. And for the first time that I can really remember, WWE has really kind of pushed that message of she is I think 5-time women's champion. Maybe this is that.
Yeah,
night,
but she was like winning bra and panty matches at the time. It wasn't like this where they're actually doing moves and stuff like that. But fine. But if she does win, because now that you were saying that, I might even switch my answer. I think that if she's gonna win with a roll up.
Okay.
Yeah, roll
like
up.
Like a surprise out of nowhere.
Duck out, because that's one of the features in the new WWE 2K18 video game, and where you can just do a quick roll up like that, and then they'll duck out. And for me, a lot of the way that I've figured out that a lot of the way that they book everything is just so that they can market that video game. And a lot of the different features that they put into the game, they definitely do put back into into the matches. That way, it's like, oh, I could actually do that into the video game, and it's
Right.
like one of the things that we definitely say is that like they market it so that, oh, if you don't like the outcome of this match, then you can just change it in the video game when you play it by yourself. So that's a lot of how I look at, the way that they do their booking when the video game and stuff comes out.
Or Mickey James comes out with the guitar. It's country singer Mickey James all over again, and she just hits Alexa over the head.
Yeah, and then she struts like Double J and goes, I was in TNA. I know how this works, baby. Oh, fantastic. All right, so let's go to the first wild card match of the evening. Wild card meaning that there was changes due to medical emergencies. We're gonna go with Finn Balor versus the phenomenal AJ Styles, and I'm really looking forward to this match because I thought that they were going to do this match at WrestleMania this year. That's really where I thought they were going with it, and it looked out because we got it like 5 or 6 months early. So I don't even know who I'm going to say. Who do you think we got?
So I think I've heard a lot of other people say that, hey, wasn't this supposed to be for WrestleMania? I've heard some other people say, wasn't this supposed to be Survivor Series where they were going to go with this? So the fact that they're pulling that trigger on it now, maybe it's to test the waters to see how they'll do, because they're also going to lead to it. I feel like if there's going to be a match where there's going to be like some kind of shenanigans in it, I almost feel it's going to be this. That I feel like the I don't even know what they call Luke Anderson or Luke Gallows and Ken Anderson, not Ken Anderson.
Carl.
Oh my gosh, Carl. Thank you. My apologies. Luke Gallows.
Anderson.
So I don't know if they're
Anderson. I had to do it. I'm sorry.
I was expecting it. I knew it was coming, and I still let it happen. But yeah, I really feel like maybe this is where they bring in the other members of the club, and they'll be two sweeting each other over the air while Kenny Omega is somewhere in the parking lot
crying. As he's crying in the parking lot because he has to. What is it now? Is it like this? Is it one?
It's like it's the ET. It was a finger, like a single finger.
Okay. You want to do it to each other? Yeah, I'm doing it.
There you go. It's the Paula Poundstone, like touch.
That's the one sweet. Jeez, yeah. As the
ET phone home.
As the Bullet Club has to go to the bank to take out a loan to try to counter sue. Jeez, too much. I'm sorry. All right. I guess for me, I think I'm gonna go with. I really like your idea though. Shit, like if the club just kind of came together. But I really don't think that this is going to be the match where there's going to be a lot of shenanigans. I think that they're going to go out there and put on a 5-star. I think that they're going to go out there and they're going to give it to Finn Balor because it makes no sense for AJ to come over from SmackDown. He's in his own storyline, is he not? And he's going to come over and
I'm not even sure, to be honest.
Yeah. So he's just going to come over and, they're going to put on one hell of a match. Everyone's going to go crazy for it. And then Finn Balor's going to come over because he's also doing his special demon character tonight. So it makes more sense.
Well, or is he, now that Bray isn't there? Like, does he have a reason to be the demon against AJ Styles?
I think that because they've already booked it. They already ordered the makeup guy to come in. So I think that they're just going to, ride that out.
I mean, let's honestly face it. They could have put one of the NXT guys that we don't all know that looks big and burly, put him under a wig and said, "That was Sister Abigail all along."
Yeah, it's sanity, baby.
Right. So the fact that they're doing this, I don't know. Like, I agree with you on the fact that this is going to be a great match if they really are able to go. And when I look at the card, this is the first match of the night that really is going to be like, wow, this is the standout match.
Yeah.
Like. So, but that's also what plays in my brain. Like, this might be where they do the shenanigans because, oh, wait a minute, we can't let them do a match. We're an entertainment program. Why would we let them have a match?
Well, I think that in the same regards of what you're saying, though, with all the changes to the card that came a couple of days ago, I see you looking at the clock. You got to go?
No, I was looking at something else. Sorry.
Oh, okay. No, with all the shenanigans that are happening on the show, I feel like this is gonna be the one. Oh, sweet. Pop animation, Dragon Ball Z.
It's Krillin.
Oh, okay. I don't know any of that stuff.
Oh.
but from what I'm saying, I think that this is going to be the match that they're going to use to quote unquote save the show, just like how after the cruiserweight show, like that's why AJ Styles wasn't wrestling on SmackDown. They were saving him for the dark main events on the SmackDown shows. That way he could have people leave happy. I think that he's just that's just basically what it's going to be. But as far as shenanigans go, that was a sweet segue I did right there. 2 points for the segue. 2 points.
Right.
I think.
Oh, by the way, I'm saying Finn Balor too.
Say that again.
I just realized. I never actually said who I thought would win, so I'm going to say Finn Balor.
Oh, okay. You're going to go Finn Balor. Okay, cool. So, I think that if there's any match where there's going to be shenanigans, it's going to be the main event, the tables, ladders, and chairs match with Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, and apparently the rush to get medically cleared Kurt Angle versus The Miz, Sheamus, Cesaro, Braun Strowman, and Kane. The guy, isn't he still running for governor? Is that still the way, like, what he's doing? So is that why he's on the show?
Governor or mayor or
city council? I don't know which one it is. But at the same time, it's like, what are you doing on the television show, bud?
It was mayor of Knox County, Tennessee.
Oh, okay. So, versus the mayor of Knox County, Tennessee, the guy that was burned and then had plastic surgery, and but he still likes to cover his face for comfort reasons. Kane. I think it's obvious who's going to win this match, but I totally feel that there's going to be a bunch of shenanigans. Now, I think it's nuts that I don't even know why did they put him in the match? There's so many other guys in that roster that they could have even swerved it and put Curtis Axel into the match. You know what I mean? Because he's one of the Miztourage. There's so many guys on that roster that aren't being used right now, but they brought Kurt in. But then again, I think that it goes back to my point of the video game and selling the video game, because he's the pre-order guy and everything like that. He's one of the DLCs and stuff.
In that respect, it makes a lot of sense. That in a weird way, this could also possibly be a tease for Daniel Bryan, because now he's kind of playing off the whole really.
Yeah. I think Daniel Bryan's gonna quit and then just go wrestle for Ring of Honor. That's just where I'm going with him. But
I would love for that to happen. I don't know if that'll happen. I mean, even though he keeps saying money's not a thing.
Yeah.
There's part of me that's money's a thing, dude.
Yeah. Okay, P Diddy.
Right.
No. That was
you're married to a Bella. There's money's a thing.
Yeah. What was that? It was Jay-Z and Jermaine Dupri. They had that song that was Ferrari, Jaguar, switching 4 lanes, top down, money ain't a thing. Does that? No?
Sure, I'll go with that.
Oh, okay.
You and Peter Rosenberg can have that moment.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, I missed that guy. That guy was sweet.
Yeah, he was awesome.
All right, so besides that, so he's into the match. I don't understand why they didn't spin it off so that Braun Strowman could have just wrecked anybody else. I don't even know why Sheamus and Cesaro are in the match. They could. Is there even a tag team championship match on this show? No.
No.
According to.
It seemed I don't know. Some of this just seemed disconnected. It seemed like the addition of Sheamus and Cesaro was only really there to showcase the fact that Curtis Axel was not good enough to be in the match.
Yeah, what the hell is that?
Right. And even Bo Dallas to that respect. I mean, by that point, I think they kind of knew what was up, because I don't think Bo Dallas was featured this last week on Raw. So,
well, doesn't he have the mums too?
No, so it looks, what has come out, and again, how much is official, who knows? It seems like Roman Reigns may have mumps, but that Bo Dallas, Bray Wyatt, and JoJo, who I think is dating Bo.
No, she's dating Bray, who's in the middle of a divorce. Bray. Yeah.
That the 3 of them have viral meningitis.
Oh yeah, well, that's gross.
Yeah. So that sucks. I mean, and being in close quarters and you're in physical contact with people when you wrestle, communicable diseases like that can spread really fast.
Yeah.
So, better safe than sorry. And in a way, though, does this position the WWE hey, let's try some new things. Let's tease some things for Survivor Series, maybe even further out, like we said with AJ and Finn, to go to WrestleMania.
Yeah, I mean, it works in that way. I mean, obviously, to me, I definitely think the winner of the match is for sure just going to be the Shield, the Shangle. Can we call him the Shangle right now?
Wonder Twin Powers activate Angle. Like, does Angle come out in attack vest?
Oh, that'd be sweet through the crowd. I'll see. I wonder if he's gonna relapse tonight. Oh, I'm so.
Oh wow.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, that was bad.
Well, he's taking Roman Reigns' place.
Oh yeah, maybe he'll just take some Adderall for the effect of everything. Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty obvious that those three are gonna go over, but it's like where do they go tomorrow? I guess that's what the fun of this is, right?
Right. And that's some of it too. Is okay. Do they then come back and be like, that's how they get rid of Kurt Angle being the GM, because like you put yourself in a match, you can't do that, and now here's Stephanie. Do they do something wonky like that and move Kurt Angle along, get rid of the whole Jordan angle,
or maybe they fast forward that now and maybe Jason Jordan interrupts the match or something like that. He's like, "Oh, you took my spot," or something like that. Yeah. But then again, why wouldn't they just put Jason Jordan into the match? There's another guy on the roster that's not doing anything, man. They just gave it to Kurt. But
like you said, it makes sense. They're trying to promote the video game. Guess who's on some of the covers and pre-orders?
Exactly. So, all right, Mr. President of Wrestling, Phil Stamper, where are you going to be? Where can they find you?
Well, so this coming Saturday is Wrestling Revolver in Clive, Iowa. Make sure you check them out at ProWrestlingRevolver.com. And actually, one of the big highlights is Sam. We talked about Sami Callihan earlier. He's taking on Jack Swagger, and if you haven't checked it out, Jack Swagger had some very interesting comments about the WWE this week. So look up Jack Swagger, and I think Pro Wrestling Sheets did the best cover of it.
Do me a favor. Post it in the comments below so that the people can see it. And I want to see it, too. I'm going to totally forget, though.
But, I mean, basically, he calls out WWE for booking themselves against independent wrestling and trying to cut them off at the throat. It was rather telling, and he I don't know, he did bring it up like, wow, this is a new revelation, and I've been saying it for like 5 months because of other things I've been seeing. They competed against PWG, Revolver this Saturday. Then suddenly now NXT has an event like 5 miles away the night before. So it's like, wait a minute, what? And then MCW in Maryland that brought to you who you now know as Velveteen Dream and Leo Rush. Well, they took a night that we had scheduled literally 2 miles up the road from us. So we're now moving a day in December. WrestleCade that has been happening for 4 years now down in North Carolina. It's like a Thanksgiving weekend thing down there. Now they have Starrcade coming back in Greensboro in the Mid-Atlantic Coliseum, and they're doing a War Games match for NXT. And it's like, what? But wait a minute, like, Starrcade, WrestleCade, like you're directly now going back against them. Like, why?
What's the point? Yeah.
And so in a way, it's like, okay, is NXT what they're trying to build as this hot brand? Like, to me, NXT's biggest rival is ROH, and I don't think there's any competition. And I hate to say it because I used to love ROH, and I just don't think they're at where they used to be. And they don't have the hype, and I think that's some of it. I want that to exist for them. It's just not there right now.
Right.
Where NXT has some of that buzz. So it's like, are we trying to cut off the indie talent to get that buzz? Like, or hey, we'll scout those top talents and that way we have them. Because what ended up happening, if you look at this landscape of independent wrestling in the last couple of years, is they did take the top indie talent and put them in NXT or in developmental. And then all of a sudden, as people have gotten released, now there's a whole new crop of guys that are out there and killing it. Impact's picked up on some of that. They've picked up the Jake and Dave Christ. I almost put the wrong tag name to them, but EYFBO now under Lax with Homicide. Desmond Xavier. So there's a lot of hot guys that are out there right now. That's like, they've kind of picked up on that too. Actually, I think it's funny because when I look at Impact, sometimes I'm like, that's the CZW roster from 3 years ago. Like,
yeah, no, definitely.
But it's like, okay, NXT, like or even WWE, like, what are you doing? What is your long-term plan? Like, I can see in one aspect of a business thought of like, wait a minute, they're successful on these weekends that we've avoided because we thought it would not be successful. So let's put ourselves there to position ourselves to get more money on these weekends that we didn't think were going to work in a place we know is working for other people. Is the only side of it I can maybe see from a realistic standpoint, because I'm sure WWE in some respects and some people in the higher ups are probably like, do you really think we're competing with an independent group? Let's call a spade.
Right.
But another way, it's like, yeah, you kind of are. Like,
yeah. No, definitely. All right, bud. Well, it's pretty ridiculous. I can't wait to watch this video on Jack Swagger, and then I think that the next time I have you on, we'll talk about it more, which will probably be in 2 weeks because they have pay-per-views on all the time now. But
right.
Yeah. Thank you so much for calling in, and we will be right back after these messages.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
The Tim Zabriskie Show is brought to you by Collar and Elbow, the wrestling brand. Check out collarandelbowbrand.com and use promo code TimZShow. All the clothes are pretty sweet, and yeah, you'll be the hot talk of the town every time you rock one of them. So, LA had called when I had the president on, so let me see if I can just get her up and running and see where she's at.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey.
What's going on?
Not much. How are you?
Doing good. What's going on with you?
Not much. Sorry, I'm at the end of your show today.
Oh, that's totally fine. At least we got you. That's the best part.
Thanks.
So what's going on in sports? I haven't watched any sports today. I did a bad job.
Lot of stuff. I mean, the last couple of weeks there's been major injuries around the NFL. I mean, like Odell Beckham went down, J.J. Watt went down, Aaron Rodgers went down last weekend.
Yeah, we talked about Aaron Rodgers with his collarbone last week.
Yeah, he broke his other collarbone a couple of years back. He broke his non-throwing arm, and this time it's his throwing arm, so it could be a little longer. Yeah. So the backup QB started today, and he showed a little bit of promise, but they came up short. The Cardinals got blown out 33-0. They lost Carson Palmer to a broken arm today as well. So Jaguars are looking good. The Colts are rebuilding and not doing well, but they beat them 27-0. But the Jaguars are looking strong with their defense and run game. But yeah, your Bills won. I think they're tied up in first with the Patriots. Well, they have to play the Patriots though, but they're like tied up there in first place now.
Oh hell yeah! I think we've been in first place this whole time, right?
Pretty much until you play the Patriots.
Yeah, and you know.
Yeah. Just wait, because they're like, you two I think are like tied up. I haven't seen the standings, but you guys are both doing really well. So
that's awesome.
That's good. Yeah, and then just kind of like people trying to find their groove and their bearings, and other teams are kind of struggling now. So that's the NFL, but now we're locked into baseball, the World Series is set for Tuesday with the Dodgers and the Houston Astros.
Oh, okay. So what's going on with that? How much longer of that do we have?
Well, we're at the final round. It's the World Series starting Tuesday. The Astros knocked off the Yankees last night to make it to the World Series.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, so
I know. I was so happy when the Yankees lost, but I'm happy for Houston after everything they've gone through. Like, I think this is like good for the city and like uplifting for them after the hurricane.
Yeah, because they completely got destroyed. So basically, this is their time to come back and I think they need the win. Maybe the other team they'll just throw it. Just give it to them.
Maybe. But I mean, the Houston Astros have like one of the best hitting teams this year. Mm-hmm. It's just, can they go against the Dodgers? Pitching has been strong, but I mean, the Houston Astros, they got some good pitchers as well. So I think it's going to be a good series.
You know what? I'm going to watch this series. It starts on Tuesday, you said?
It starts on Tuesday. I think it's in L.A. because the Dodgers had the best record. So
gotcha.
It's
so
in L.A.
So the games around here will start around like 8 o'clock at night?
Probably 8. I mean, they might, because it's 3-hour difference. I hope they don't have 10 o'clock games because that's going to suck.
Yeah, that sounds
Because usually if it's like West Coast teams, some of them start at like 10 o'clock. I'm like, oh God, I gotta go to bed.
Yeah, seriously, we got jobs on this side of the country.
Yeah, I gotta get up early.
Which is funny. All right. Is there anything else going on?
Well, NBA started this past week too. So I think it was one day where every single sport played, like hockey, football, baseball, and basketball.
Oh, really?
It was this past week. Yeah. So hockey's started, basketball started. So
you must have been in heaven.
It's busy. Yeah, it's busy. The basketball started, but then there was a really gruesome injury to Gordon Hayward on the Celtics, so he's out pretty much the whole season. So it's weird. I feel like there's so many injuries this year in like all sports.
Yeah, well, if everybody's playing right now, then there's more injuries then, right? Doesn't that go hand in hand?
Yeah, but it was like a freak accident where like his ankle was just broken. Like it's just like disgusting. The images are not nice. Like not pretty at all. But
I don't want to see that.
You don't want to look up that accident. But it's unfortunate and everything. Just a freak accident. They were really looking forward because they just acquired him this past year in off season with Kyrie Irving. So now it's like he's out.
Now is this like a situation where since they just picked him up, they could easily just let him go for good now that he's injured like this? No,
I don't think so. No, they're gonna. I think they signed him to like a few-year contract, but I mean, he's a good player, and he built his way like up to like an all-star player. They said it's a good clean break, so he's gonna make a good recovery, but he's just out the whole season. So like Boston Celtics, they have some young players. They're gonna like have to step up this year, and like they might be starting, and they didn't think they were gonna start this year. So it kind of helps the rotation, but like I said, it was like a freak accident in a way. The way he came down, broke his ankle, and it wasn't pretty.
Yeah, that doesn't sound pretty. All right, so tell the people that don't know about sportsandchamps.com. I have the website pulled up right here.
Okay, so Sports and Champs is just a way for you to learn about sports easy and approachable ways, so you can be a part of the conversation. Now that a bunch of sports are in full swing, you just be able to look up something real quick and then be able to kind of understand what other people are talking about and be able to join the conversation.
Awesome. Sounds good. All right, LA, we will catch you next week. And thank you so much for coming on the show. We miss you when you're not here. So
I missed you too. I'm sorry.
That's okay. We'll do it again next week. How about that?
Sounds good.
Awesome. Talk to you later.
Okay. Bye.
All right. Bye. All right, guys. That's it for the show today. thank you so much for paying attention. It looks like we got a lot of people that watch the show. I will go back and look at the comments and comment to you, and any sort of changes or corrections or anything like that I'll get into. But we'll do it again. Next week I'm not going to be able to do the show. I just want to let everybody know. Me and the Ruru, we had our 1 year a couple weeks ago. We're going out of town for it. We'll do this again in about 2 weeks. So cash me outside. How about that?